Hi, my name is Rene. I've been coming to Crossroads for over 10 years. It started in mid-October of 2015. Went to bed fine, woke up in the morning. I could barely move my right leg. It felt like lead. I couldn't lift it. I was in terrible, terrible pain. I called my friend to take me to the urgent care department. They didn't do any x-rays or anything. They didn't know exactly what was wrong. They started giving me pain shots, one in each hip. 2 weeks later, I started having more symptoms. I was dizzy, I was nauseated, I started getting migraine headaches, and the pain in my leg was constant. My legs were so heavy that I could barely lift them. I could barely drive. I had gone into work one day and the pain was very intense. And I said to God, I'm like, God, please get me through this. I'm like, I only have 15 minutes left in my day. Please get me through. As I continued, the pain got worse and I started getting more nauseated and more dizzy. And the pain was so intense that I quit for the day. I went up to urgent care. They took me in for x-rays. Well, before they took me in for the first one, she gave me a shot in my hip and said it would help ease the pain while they did the test. When I went in for the test, they did the x-ray and came back and gave me another shot, and the doctor waited for a little bit before she came in. By the time she came in, I was in excruciating pain, and I had my back to the door and my hip into the wall because it was hurting so bad I was just sobbing. And the doctor came in and she goes, well, I have good news. We're just seeing some arthritis in your hip. When I turned, she's like, are you still in pain? And I said, very much so. She said, well, we're calling an ambulance. We're having you taken to the ER. She said, you shouldn't be feeling anything at this point. Once my doctor saw the report, he sent me in right away for an MRI. They got the results a couple days later, and one of the nurses had called and said, there was a few minor things with my spine and my hip, but the main concern was multiple myeloma. And I have a smartphone and I took it out and I said, what is multiple myeloma? As I was driving, I heard, it is a malignant tumor of the bone marrow. And I just said, oh God, no, this can't be. You would not let this happen to me. The doctor's office called a couple days later and had me come in. If it does come back with cancer, he said, we're sending you up to Washington to see an oncologist. Well, a lot of my friends that were non-believers but knew that there was something wrong with me but didn't know exactly what was wrong started praying. One hadn't been to a church since he was a little boy and he was in his 50s. And he said he went into the church and he bowed down in front of the cross and he prayed for me. And a few other friends prayed for me. And I knew God wasn't going to let me down. I knew he was going to heal whatever this was. My friends would say to me, Rene, you're so calm through all this. Like, you should be like so upset. You should have all this anxiety. I said, why? God's taken care of me. He's healed me before. He'll heal me again. One of the Sundays when I had come in, Pastor Steve had walked up to me and said, are you okay, Rene? And I said, no, I'm in a lot of pain. And he said, can I pray for you? And I said, yes, you can. And he prayed, and for 3 days I had no pain. It was amazing, but then the pain came back again until they all started praying for me again, and it's been gone ever since. The first test came back negative, and I was like, okay, God, you're working. The second test came back negative, and on the day of our family Christmas party, as I was going to it, they called and said the third came back negative. There was no cancer showing up in the bones. I have not been in pain at all. I'm able to bend over. I'm able to stand in the front row and dance and praise like I did before. It makes me not afraid to talk to anybody. You know, I tell them what God has done for me. It's my testimony that will bring them closer to God and know that there is a God, you know, and He can heal you.